Alright, so I don't really know how to start this video because I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, and so, that's not gonna work. Yeah, as you can tell. But I just wanted to film a video tonight because March Madness brackets March Madness starts tomorrow. And, so, I'm gonna fill out a bracket. I already filled out quite a few, actually. I think, in total, probably, around 20. So, yeah, you're just trying to hope to get the perfect bracket with a 9.2 quintillion chance. So, I'm gonna take my chances. I'm not a normal person. I'm not gonna fill out just one bracket. I don't care. It's not cheating. You're given the opportunity to. I didn't fill out any paper brackets, but yeah. I'm also doing this the night before because I've just been really, really busy, since the since the bracket came out on Sunday at around 4 p.m. I've filled out a lot of brackets already, like I said, but Sunday night I was at Topgolf with some friends. Monday night I was just getting all my homework done because I knew last night I wasn't gonna have any chance to, because last night I had an acting show for my school, or a talent show pretty much for senior boys, and that actually went pretty well. And then ended up going out to dinner. So, anyways, let's just get right into it, I'd say. As I say, right into it, as we are nearing 2 minutes on this video already, just me talking about the introduction. And yeah, it is currently 9:47 at night. So this will probably take me around 30 minutes to film. But, it's a March Madness bracket. There's 63 games. 4 of them actually already being played. The first 4, which, if I just refresh this, then I think it will update that Miami, Ohio beat SMU, and Prairie View A&M beat Lehigh. Yep, there we go. So we do have a fresh bracket right in front of us. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it out. Here's the bracket, by the way. I'm not gonna show it really, because it's just really gonna be myself talking, and I'll just go over each and every game. But yeah, let's get into it. So we're starting up here in the East with Duke against Siena. Siena, I'm not sure if this is their first time in the bracket or in the tournament, I should say. But yeah, impressive for them. Duke obviously being the 1 seed. I think Duke is going to win this game. They're 27.5-point favorites. I think that's pretty good. So, I'm going to go ahead and take Duke to advance to the round of 32. This game being played tomorrow at 11:50 a.m. Not worth watching, really. Unless you're a Duke or Siena fan, yeah, this game, Duke should win by 25, 30 points, maybe even more. But yeah, I wouldn't take Siena just because 16 seeds, hard to predict if they are going to win or not. And so, therefore, I am going to go with Duke. And then the next game, this one's interesting. Ohio State, TCU. This is actually the first game of the day tomorrow. But I am going to roll with Ohio State. Bruce Thornton's been pretty good lately. So, they almost have 10 million of the votes or picks already for the first round in this game. TCU, 9 seed, a little bit high for them. I thought they were on the 10 line, potentially even an at-large bid for a 4 team. So, them getting a 9 seed, and especially the matchup with Ohio State, I don't really like it for them. Ohio State was competitive with Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, and they probably should have won that game, honestly. And they would have played, I believe it would have been Wisconsin they would have played on Saturday. And Michigan beat Wisconsin, and Michigan ended up losing in the Big Ten tournament to Purdue. But anyways, I don't know how we got all the way over there. I am going to take Ohio State to beat TCU in that one. And then we move down here to St. John's in Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa winning the Missouri Valley Conference. believe is a 6th seed against UIC. So they haven't played in like a week and a half. St. John's beating UConn in the Big East Championship. So these are both conference champions. But yeah, I'm going to take Rick Pitino, St. John's. This St. John's team has been fun to watch as of recent. You know, they had that really, really bad loss a couple weeks ago to UConn, but they beat UConn 2 out of the 3 times. They're in the same part of the bracket. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, so they could potentially play each other in the Elite Eight if they each win 3 games. We will see. But yeah, I am going to take St. John's to beat Northern Iowa. And then moving down to Kansas and Cal Baptist. This one is somewhat interesting because Kansas has had this problem all year with Darren Peterson, who will probably be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft next year. But, you know, he's always out. He's always missing games. And so it's kind of hard to pick Kansas. But on the other hand, Kansas, night in, night out, like Bill Self, this is a really good head coaching conference, by the way. Like, you got Rick Pitino, you got Dan Hurley, you got, forget his name. Tom Izzo, Bill Self. Like, you got some pretty good head coaches in here. And so, with that being said, I am going to take Kansas to beat Cal Baptist, even though I believe Cal Baptist could win this, but Cal Baptist got lucky against Utah Valley in the WAC championship. And so, you know, I'm going to take Kansas to win at least against Cal Baptist. We will see after that. Louisville, South Florida. I believe this is the most picked 11 seed. Yeah, 6.5 million, and Louisville was like 10 million of those votes. And Mikel Brown Jr. is not playing in this game. So that's huge for USF. USF's big 3 has just been playing amazing too. USF's won 11 in a row. I think they are going to win this one. This is a game that you need to watch. It's at 10:30, so if you can make it happen, make it happen. But yeah. And then you got the number 3 seed Michigan State going up against the number 14 seed North Dakota State. Why am I being a little bit quiet? It's because I think no one is talking about the fact that North Dakota State could realistically win this game. Like, I think out of any 14/3, this probably is the best one. A lot of people are saying Penn to beat Illinois. I'm okay with that. I saw a video yesterday saying Kennesaw State could beat Gonzaga. Not in my favor. North Dakota State, I just think, have what it takes to beat Michigan State, and I do think they're going to win that game. So you got a 11 versus a 14 in the second round. We'll see what happens with that. And then you got the 7 v 10 UCLA UCF. This is one of the hardest games I'm having to pick right now, but I can't pick against this UCLA team. Like, just Donovan Dent, Tyler Belotu, it's just been a pretty good team as of late. You know, they lost to Purdue in the Big Ten tournament, but they beat Illinois a few weeks ago. They just had a few great wins, actually. So I know they can compete in this one. And then UConn Furman, I don't even think we need to talk about this one. I think we can all agree that it will be UConn taking them down. Yeah, this one's not even interesting. 16 million have took UConn. Did more people take Siena over Duke? Almost. But, yeah, I doubt Furman is winning this. Furman did win their conference, though. And UConn didn't. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll see something there. Moving down to the south, we got Florida against Prairie View. Prairie View just beating Lehigh in the first 4. So congrats to them, because they were the 8th seed in their conference. They got up first 4. They beat Lehigh, and so now they're going up against Florida. And Florida, like, a lot of people think are the worst 1 seed. But are they really? Because Duke is without Patrick Ngongba and their starting point guard, I forget his name. But, Florida, like, they won the championship last year. There's a reason they're a 1 seed. They might have lost to Vandy in the SEC semifinal tournament. But you're not picking against Florida here, are you? Right. So I'm rolling with Florida. Moving on to Clemson versus Iowa. This one is actually a bit interesting. Bennett Starks has been one of the hottest players in the country as of late. This is actually one of the more picked 9/8 games. I think it might be the only one, if I'm right. Let me just take a look at all these. Yeah, this is the only 9/8 that I'm seeing in any of these. So, yeah, Iowa has almost 10 million of the 17 million, so which is pretty crazy. And Iowa's favored too. I just don't think Clemson deserves to be in this 8 spot. So I am gonna roll with Iowa there. And then you got Vandy versus McNeese, and dang, this McNeese team, I love them just because of Amir Khan, the McNeese student manager, on an NIL deal, by the way. He was the guy with the boombox from last year against Clemson. They beat him. They go play Purdue. They lose. Amir goes to NC State to follow his head coach, comes back to McNeese, and now they have a chance to do it again as a 12 seed against an, never mind. I was going to say against an SEC team, but Clemson's not an SEC. Wouldn't it be crazy if Clemson and McNeese both win 2 games? They play each other in the Sweet 16 and McNeese wins again. Then you'd have a 12 seed in the Elite 8. I think that would be pretty cool. And who knows, maybe that happens. But we will see tomorrow if McNeese can beat this Vanderbilt team. But no, I'm going to take Vanderbilt here. I do think they are the better team. The SEC is a hard conference, man. I mean, yeah, they did have a rough game against Arkansas in the SEC final. But, I believe they can bounce back. And I think they will. So, there you go. Vandy to the round of 32. Then you got Nebraska and Troy. So, Nebraska are a weird one. They were 20-0. I think they're 6-6 in their last 12 games. But I'm still taking them to beat Troy. I was trying to just find any way Troy could beat Nebraska. I just don't think it's happening. And so I will be taking Nebraska to beat Troy. Then you got the 6v11 game. VCU and North Carolina. This one being played in South Carolina, actually. Caleb Wilson will miss this game. So I think that's big for North Carolina. VCU, yeah, they won the A10 tournament, and that's what got them into this tournament. Their rivals, St. Louis, obviously on the other side of this bracket. But I am going to take VCU, the 11/6 here. So I've already taken both 11/6s here. So yeah. And then you got Illinois against Penn. This is what I talked about earlier. I'm going to take Illinois. Everyone's talking about Penn, but I just don't see it. Like, I just don't see this Illinois team going down this early in the tournament. And so I will be taking them to beat Penn. And then you got my favorite team, St. Mary's. Well, favorite team in the bracket. Taking on, but they are one of my 5 favorite teams. You got St. Mary's, you got Vermont, you got San Jose State, you got Sac State, and you got UC Davis. I don't know why I was blanking there. Probably because 4 of my 5 teams didn't make the tournament. San Jose State, they got second to last in the Mountain West. But anyways, yeah, it is 10 p.m. now. So that's also probably why I probably need to go to bed like right after this. But anyways, back into this. Yeah, St. Mary's, they didn't finish the season, the West Coast Conference, the way they wanted to. They go out, they lose to Santa Clara. Really frustrating, actually. They just could not make a 3 in that game. And so here they are as a 7 seed playing Texas A&M. Probably one of the best 10 seeds, honestly. Like, if you look at all the other 10 seeds, I mean, they're pretty good. But I respectively would want to play Santa Clara. But the committee would not have them do that in the first round. And so, yeah. But with that being said, I am going to take St. Mary's to beat Texas A&M. I think they are capable of winning that one. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about this game. And I just hope St. Mary's can pull off. I believe we are favored, but, it might go the other way. And then this 2v15 here, I'm going to take Houston. Like, Idaho won the Big Sky. I called that, too. Like, the day after they beat Sac State, who are one of my favorite teams, I was just like, yeah, Idaho is going to win this. They went 9-9 in conference. They beat Montana State, like, a few times. They beat Montana a few times. Beat the regular season conference winner, Portland State, Weber State. And so, yeah, there you go. That side of the bracket is done for round 1. Then you got the West, round 1. You got Arizona and Long Island. This one, if you had to choose a 16-1, I think you gotta go with this game. But yeah, 30.5-point favorites. I'm taking Arizona to win this game. And so, there you go. And then you got another 8v9. This is a pretty hard game, honestly. Like, both these teams are really good, but Utah State is just better all around at everything. When you need a shot, minute to go, down by 2, I'm taking Utah State to win. Then you got Wisconsin High Point. A lot of people have taken High Point as a 12 seed. It only says 2.8 million. But if you look at other 12 seeds, like Northern Iowa, 1.9 million. Or Akron over Texas Tech. Okay, that one's more. But that makes sense. McNeese, 2.7 million. So really, this is the second most for a 12 seed, which is not bad. And I will be taking High Point to beat Wisconsin in this one. And then you got Arkansas, Hawaii. Mikael Brown Jr. has been one of the best players in the country as of late. Hawaii only making it because they won the Big West. UC Irvine probably could have made it. They just lose in the Big West Championship. My UC Davis Aggies should have made it, but they didn't even make it to the semifinal. So maybe they shouldn't have. But yeah, I'm going to take John Calipari and this Arkansas team. I think they are legit. They probably could make the Final Four, even the championship. They could win March Madness. Like, this team could be the 2022 UConn team that won the final against San Diego State. Like, could I find another 5 seed that's like that, though? Like, would you be able to tell me Arkansas and Vandy in that March Madness championship, the SEC final, and Arkansas wins again? So, anyways, now you got BYU and Texas. This is a really big game. I think, this is another 6v11 game. I think AJ Demancis is going to have to drop 30 points at least to get the win, and I think he's capable of that, at least against Texas. And so I will give BYU the win there over Texas. And then, moving on. I don't really have much to say about that game, by the way, but I just know it's going to be big. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. I believe in Gonzaga. I do believe in Kennesaw State, but Gonzaga's just overpowered. Like, this team is really. And then the next game, I have a lot to talk about this one. So, Miami have not been good as of recent. They lost to Virginia twice. Would have expected them to be competitive. They lose by 20 in these games. They lost to Cal. I mean, I just don't see how this team's a 7 seed. Like, it should be flipped. Like, Missouri's 7 seed, Miami's a 10 seed. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to take Missouri to win this game, probably by 15, honestly, if you had to ask me. They beat Florida, they beat Vandy, they beat Kentucky, they beat Tennessee. Like, this is a darn good Missouri team. I don't know how they're a 10 seed. They should be higher. And then I will take Purdue to beat Queens. Don't know much about Queens. Yeah, this game, Purdue's 23.5 point favorite. I might take them to win by like 40 points, honestly. Like, this game will be over by the first 5 minutes of the game. Moving down to our last region, the Midwest. You got Michigan taking on Howard. A lot of people have Michigan winning their whole brackets. We'll see how this ends up in ours. But, I really have to think about this one, do I? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm not taking a 16 seed, like I said earlier. Michigan does move on. And you got Georgia St. Louis. So this one's interesting. Like, I thought Georgia was having a good season, and then as of late, they just haven't been as amazing as I thought they would have been. I thought they could have, the way they were playing, like January, even early February. They probably could have been a 5 or a 6 seed, and now they're all the way down to the 8 line, having to play St. Louis. Not great for them, but it is what it is. You end up in this 8-9 game, and with the way Georgia's been playing as of late, I'm gonna take St. Louis. St. Louis does lose to Dayton in that A-10 semifinal, but they still have Milk Chamberlain, Robbie Avila. He's gonna get the job done, no matter what. And so, there you have it. You're setting up a 1v9, and yeah, I'm taking the 9 seeds 3 out of 4 times in the first round. I like that a lot. And then you go over to Texas Tech against Akron. JT Taubin out for Texas Tech. Huge. Probably the reason why I'm taking Akron. This Akron team, they're only 7.5 point underdogs. I believe they can take him down. Christian Anderson, I don't think, is capable of just doing it all by himself. And, Tavari Johnson for Akron has been pretty big of late. So, I think they got it. So, yeah. And then you got the 4v13. Oh, looks like something's wrong with my bracket here. Okay, never mind. I'm sick and tired of the people that's saying, oh, Alabama's not going to win this now because Aiden Holloway is not playing. I don't care. Like, Labaron Philon is a top 10 player in the country. And if you think that Alabama's losing to Hofstra because of that, like, what? Like, you don't know ball. Alabama's winning this game. Probably by like 35. Then you got Tennessee, Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio just beating SMU, which I'm really frustrated about because now I technically took Miami of Ohio to the Elite Eight in like 2 of my brackets because I thought SMU was going to go on a Cinderella. And now it's not happening. But Miami, Ohio, 32-1. They're going to be 32-2 after this loss to Tennessee, who I think are also legit out of the SEC. The SEC is a good conference. It just is. And then moving over to Virginia Wright State, I haven't put any thought into this game every single time I picked it. I've taken Virginia every single time. Like, I don't know why. I mean, this Wright State team, like, I just don't think they're good. Like, they should probably be a 15, potentially a 16. They're 14, but it doesn't matter. They're going to lose first round anyways. Then you got Kentucky against Santa Clara. I don't like Santa Clara personally, but do you remember what I just said? The SEC is good. And, yeah, Kentucky's going to win this one. By a lot, probably, actually. So, yeah. My battery's at 10%, by the way. So that's not amazing. But, you know, it should get us through the video. We'll see. And then you got Iowa State taking on Tennessee State. Also, not putting much thought into this one. Iowa State should win this one pretty easily. Probably by like 20, 25 points, I would say. Yeah. And so now you have round of 32. The 32 best teams in the country. Duke, Ohio State, St. John's, Kansas, South Florida, North Dakota State, UCLA, UConn, Florida, Iowa, Vandy, Nebraska, VCU, Illinois, St. Mary's, Houston, Arizona, Utah State, High Point, Arkansas, BYU, Gonzaga, Missouri, Purdue, Michigan, St. Louis, Akron, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, and Iowa State are your top 32 teams in the country. And anyways, let's get into it. So back up to the East, we got Duke taking on Ohio State. I'm going to take Duke to win here. You know, there's not much to say as you get into these. You got to take these 1 seeds over the 8. And it's just got to happen. This next game's interesting. You got St. John's and Kansas. I don't think these teams have played this season. And they haven't. And so this will be interesting to watch if they do win their games. I would love to see this game. It would be great. I mean, talk about like Rick Pitino, Bill Self. That's a crazy coaching matchup right there. I just think St. John's, with what they've done, they got to make the Sweet 16, right? Right? Like, you just can't pick against them right now. And then you got the 11-14. This is like the NC State Oakland game in 2024. I believe that was, yeah. And so South Florida, I think, will take it. South Florida to the Sweet 16 and 11 seed. Like, 11 seeds are just easy to pick against 6 seeds for some reason. And then here, I'm actually going to take the upset. I'm going to take UCLA over UConn. I know everyone is talking about this UConn team being legit. I don't think they aren't legit. UCLA has just shown who they can be in the last month or so. I mean, they even showed in the Big Ten tournament. They took down Michigan State, who went down to North Dakota State. So, you know, I just think UCLA has what it takes to get the 7/2 right there. And they will do it. And then you got another upset right here. Iowa over Florida. I think Bennett Sturts is that guy. He's going to show us in this tournament. I do have the reigning champs going down. It's almost like how Arkansas beat Kansas in 2023. I don't know if these numbers are right. Earlier when I said the UConn thingy, like with the 4 seed, or what did I say about a 4 seed? Like Arkansas. I said that earlier. That was 2023, I think, too. And then you got an interesting game. You got Vandy and Nebraska. Big Ten SEC. Remember what I said earlier. The SEC is just so good this year. And that's probably the reason I'm taking Vandy. But also, Nebraska, pretty bad loss to Purdue in the Big Ten tournament. I think they get past Troy. I don't think they get past Vanderbilt. Moving on to this 3v11 game here. I'm going to take Illinois just because I think VCU, I feel like they're only going to beat UNC because they're without Caleb Wilson. And once they play Illinois, Andrei Stojakovic, Keaton Wagler, it's just not going to be there for them. And so I will have Illinois winning that one. Moving on to Houston, St. Mary's. I'm going to take Houston to win this one. It's the same story for St. Mary's. Again, last year they beat Vandy. This year they're going to beat Texas A&M. Last year they lose to Alabama. This year they lose to Houston. It's the same story. And, okay, so that puts us on the other side of the bracket. Now we got Arizona, Utah State. A little bit of a West matchup. This game will be in San Diego, California. So, perfect location for them. It's kind of messed up for Long Island and Villanova that they have to go all the way over. But you know what? It is March Madness, and miracles happen. So, we'll see. I will take Arizona to advance to the Sweet 16. This healthy Arizona team is just too overpowered to beat. I mean, I don't think a Mountain West team can beat them right now. So, therefore, I will have Arizona winning that one. Moving on to Arkansas, High Point. Anyway, sorry about that. I just got told to go to bed. So, that's how late it is yet. Now, 10:19. And so, I should probably start going a little faster. I don't think I will, actually, but I will lower my voice a little bit. Just because you could tell it's getting kind of scratchy. I got the water here. You got High Point against Arkansas. This Arkansas team, I just think, is the better team in this case. And I'm going to take them. And they're going to play Arizona in the Sweet 16. That'll be a good one if that ends up happening. Then you got BYU, Gonzaga. I'm going to take Gonzaga. And this BYU team without Richie Saunders, 5-5 in the last 10. It's just not happening. There's no way they make it to the Sweet 16. Hey, if Kennesaw State wins that game, then maybe I see it. But in what world does Kennesaw State beat Gonzaga? There is a approximately 3% chance that happens. So spin a wheel 33 times. Now that it's 33 times, Kennesaw State wins one of them. I don't make the rules. Gonzaga's going to win that game against BYU. Moving on to Missouri against Purdue. This one actually might be interesting. Because, this Missouri team, Mark Mitchell, Jayden Stone. But Purdue winning a Big Ten tournament, that gives them a big advantage. They get the number 2 seed. They're going to take advantage of that. They're going to beat Missouri. Missouri, the 10 seed. Yeah, I think they got to win that one. Michigan, St. Louis. Obviously, Milk Chamberlain, the best player on St. Louis, he just gets outnumbered here. Michigan is going to win this game. I have no doubts that they won't win this game like they will win this game. They have to make the Sweet 16. If they are, pretty much everybody's picked to win their bracket, I would say. You got Akron against Alabama here. I'm going to take Alabama despite the Aiden Holloway issues. Akron could make a run, but this is the same thing what people thought with UC San Diego last year. They lost to Michigan in the first round. So you guys are lucky that I'm taking Akron over Texas Tech, really. Because, if Akron were to win this, then they play Michigan, probably lose that one. And so, how often does a 12 seed make the Sweet 16, right? All my 12 seeds are knocked out by now, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, we got Tennessee against Virginia. Now, this one is interesting. Very interesting, actually. Nate Ament, you got Jacoby Gillespie, You got, I mean, I want to take Virginia, but I just know the other day, Tennessee, I think, is going to take it. Then you got Kentucky against Iowa State. Again, right here. Man, where do I go? Like, seriously. I'm going to take Iowa State. I think Iowa State's going to win that one. So, yeah, just final 16 teams, the best 16 teams in the country. Duke, St. John's, South Florida, UCLA, Iowa, Vanderbilt, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Gonzaga, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State. So yeah, let's get right back into it. Back up to the East, you got Duke, St. John's, and with these two starters out for Duke, I don't think they're making it past St. John's. St. John's, I probably should have been on the 3 line. They would have beat North Dakota State. They would have beat South Florida. They would have beat UCLA. And they'd be here. But instead, no, you get this. And so we'll see if Duke can win this game, honestly. Like, I think they can, but I don't see it happening. South Florida, UCLA. 7 v 11. This one's tough. Don't make me take an 11 to this Elite Eight. I'm not gonna do it. I'm taking UCLA. They gotta win this one, right? Right. UCLA wins that one. Then you go down here to Iowa and Vanderbilt. I had 5 against 9. Wow. This might get any crazier. This Bennett Sturts is going to keep going into March. I think it does. It's the same here with Keaton Wagler in Illinois. They're going to keep rolling. They're going to beat Houston. No, I'm just kidding. Houston's got to win that game. Houston plays Iowa in that Elite Eight. And then you go back up here. Arizona, Arkansas. Earlier I said it was going to be a good game. Looks like it. Arizona's pretty good. And I think we're going to win the game. I have no energy left, by the way. So, Gonzaga, Purdue. Toss up, really. Flip a coin, man. Letting fate decide my bracket at this point. Really. I mean, both conference winners. Okay, so you see heads right there. And then you see coins. Or heads. And then you see tails. Okay. Alright. I'm going to call heads for Purdue and tails for Gonzaga. What is it? It is heads, and Purdue will move on. So we let the bracket up to chance, and it took Purdue. So there you have it. Arizona, Purdue, a 1-2 in the Elite Eight. And then you got Michigan and Alabama. I do think this is where the Aiden Holloway stuff starts to become an issue. But on the other hand, like, if you think Aiden Holloway would have played, do you think Alabama would win? I think Michigan will still have it, and I think they're going to have it no matter what in this case. I got Tennessee, Iowa State. Iowa State just hasn't shown, like, much. Like, Iowa State, like, they beat Kansas, they beat Purdue, they beat St. John's, they beat Houston. I don't know. They lose to BYU when they were cold. It's just not impressive to me. I don't know. going to take Tennessee to beat them there. So I got a 5v7, a 1v2, a 9v2, and a 1v6. And so, yep, St. John's, UCLA. This is going to be a classic. I think St. John's is going to take it, though. And St. John's to the Final Four. Moving down over here to the 2v9 matchup. You got Iowa and Houston. I mean, if Iowa can win this game and make it to the Final Four, that's insane. It's just, I don't know. Does Iowa win this? I'm going to take Houston. They got to win that one. I'm going to take Arizona to beat Purdue. And then I will take Michigan to end Tennessee's run. So you got a 2v5 and you got a 1v1. Starting off with the 2v5, like, how many people picked Houston to be here? So